Hi everyone, welcome back to Pandemic Cooking. I'm Adele, aka Miss Dumbstruck, Miss S, Stelly, whatever you want to call me, to these students at Lillian Osborne High School in Edmonton, because people from around the world are for sure watching this. Today we are making choux pastry, or pâté à choux. I have been putting off this video because I do not like making it, but I thought today I'm gonna tackle my fears for you. The reason why we're making this is because so many people have requested cream puffs and churros, and that is made of choux pastry. I'm just gonna close the door, that's gonna make me crazy. So if you've been to a cute little restaurant we call Timmy's, you've probably had it if you've had the honey cruller. So what I want you to think about with choux pastry is I want you to think about a honey cruller, okay? So today we're going to be making two things out of our choux pastry. We are going to be making cream puffs. So I have my baking pan all ready to go, lined with parchment paper. I know that I kind of knocked parchment paper, but this is one that we're going to need it. I have my oven preheating at 375, and I have vegetable oil coming to a medium heat because we are going to be deep frying the churros, okay? I also have my piping bag fitted with one of the larger tips ready to go. If you have a plain round tip, that would be great for the cream puffs. And like the angled one or the star one is great for churros. I'm too lazy to switch them up, so I'm just going to use one tip. Okay, so I have my ingredients here ready to go, and as you can see, the ingredients are very, very simple for making a choux pastry. So I have in my pot, I have 3/4 of a cup of water, and I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of skim milk, and I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of unsalted butter. So I've got my butter, my milk, my water in here, and I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of sugar, okay? So all of these ingredients have no flavor, the butter is unsalted. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be bringing this to a simmer. I'm going to be using a wooden spoon. I have a spatula ready to go because I've got my mixer that I'm going to be transferring this into in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So the reason why choux pastry is really difficult is because if you don't do it properly, if you don't take the time, it's going to taste very eggy. As you can see, I have a pile of eggs here. I've got 6 eggs ready to go. So the pastry is definitely egg-based. So we wanna make sure that we're not tasting egg, we wanna make sure that we're tasting pastry. But what the eggs do is they give that really like airy, fluffy texture. Again, think of the honey cruller or think of a cream puff. You know that you'll have success if your cream puffs puff up, okay? So I'm just gonna be melting this butter here. I'm gonna think of some other things you can do with choux pastry. You can make eclairs, you can make a Saint Honore cake. Ms. N, tell me about that.
The Saint Honore cake?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a nice little cake with choux pastry. Also, that when I made it in my first practicum, you also used puff pastry in it. So it's kind of like a pastry cake. You have whipped cream in it. You have vanilla bean cream. It's just so simple.
So
creamy and good.
Simple. So one of the things about French baking or French cooking in general, and I feel this way about Italian cooking too, everything is very simple. Like French cooking is based a lot on eggs, a lot on pastry, and there's so many different ways to take these few ingredients, manipulate them in different ways, and you have a completely different product. So because I'm not a huge like choux pastry fan, is because I've seen it fail so many times over the years, and I am not an egg fan. So this is my thing, is like if they smell eggy, or like I have had my share of eggy cream puffs that like I just get nervous. But I found a method that I'm gonna teach to you that's going to increase your level of success here. Okay, so the butter is melting into the water and the milk mixture, and with the sugar and the salt. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring this to a simmer. So let's come back when this is all melted. Okay, so we've got our milk, butter, water mixture to a simmer here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it all the way down to low, and I'm gonna add my flour all at once. I've got 1 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour. And now I am going to start stirring vigorously for 4 to 5 minutes. And this is so important. I'm setting a timer for this. And I was like, hey, Ms. N, should we cut this out? She's like, absolutely not. This is where if my students are going to screw up, this is it. Because you're gonna be like,
I've seen students screw up multiple times when making choux pastry.
yeah, because you get it to this ball and you're like, cool, done. Done.
No.
No. It's like making Play-Doh. You think that it's done, but it's not. You have to keep going. You have to cook this all the way through. We're looking for a little bit of a darker color and a little bit stiffer. Because remember, we're going to be adding 6 eggs to this. So it's really important that we don't have this too runny. We're looking for a film kind of at the bottom of the pan here to know that we're cooking it enough. Okay, so I still have my pan on low heat. It's only been 1 minute, everybody. Okay, what I did want to talk about while I'm stirring, you want to pan up? Pan up, pan up, hi! I want to talk about deep frying safety. Tyler Lofstrand, this is a shout out to you. When I was teaching at J. Percy Page, one of my students who's now a teacher, I'm reading to one of his class, to his grade 5 class right now. He was like, Ms. S, and he held the pan. He was just like heating up oil to cook some vegetables, like saute some vegetables, like just a splash of oil. Started smoking, poof, and he was like, Ms. S, what do I do? And then it burst into flames. And at the time I was like 20, so I panicked. Now, whenever I'm deep frying in particular, I make sure that I have the lid that fits the pan ready to go. So in the event that this starts smoking or starts on fire, I need to cut off the oxygen to it, put the lid on the pan, take it off the heat, and just let it cool down. And that would have prevented the almost grace fire that we had that day at J. Percy Page. It's a miracle I didn't burn the school down, okay? Probably would have been a good job loss opportunity for me. Okay, I'm still going. I don't have that film that I'm looking for. I don't have that color that I'm looking for. So I'm just gonna press on, and I still have 2 minutes of stirring to do. I wonder how Tim Hortons does this. Do you think that they have somebody like...
No, they use a machine.
To stir it?
Yeah, because the donuts come pre-made.
They do?
Yeah.
What? Do
You
they
know
have to
that?
fry them at Tim Hortons?
I don't know if they, I don't know if they fry them, but I'm pretty sure they come pre-made and then they have to like ice them.
Do you remember? Oh, that answers a lot of things. Do you remember when Tim Hortons, before they like got popular, they had the best menu, and you get like a soup or like a sandwich and a donut and a drink. You still can, but like they had the turkey sandwich with the Caesar dressing on it. Do you remember that one?
No, I always got the one that had like the honey mustard dressing.
The ham?
Turkey Bacon Club.
Huh.
Honey mustard dressing.
And like now all this
cheddar
is so
cheese.
fancy. Like Timmy's, I love you, but come on.
I feel like I'm one of the only people that doesn't hate Tim Hortons now. I still love Tim
I
Hortons.
don't hate it. Like, hello, our video yesterday. Like,
I love a good bagel belt.
Do you?
Oh yeah. Lunch,
like,
dinner.
Timbits?
Love.
Come on.
I could eat honey crullers, just tons.
Really? What's your favorite? Is that your favorite?
That's my favorite, honey cruller. I also like their blueberry donut because it's kind of like an old fashioned, but it's better. But honey cruller is my go-to.
An old fashioned?
Yeah, like those ones that are really dense and have like the thick icing on them.
Oh, I thought the old fashioned had nothing on it.
Oh.
There was a time when back when Tim Hortons was like just gaining popularity, and they had that turkey sandwich that I loved. Okay, my timer's gone. I'm not happy with this. So I'm gonna keep going for 1 more minute. What do you think, Ms. Anne?
Yeah, I don't see any film on the bottom.
Maybe my pan is just super excellent.
That could be.
Is it?
I don't know. Oh. It's hard to see. You can see a little bit of the film.
Like this right here?
starting.
Okay.
But that's kind of, you want a little bit of that film.
You have to press on.
Press on.
Okay, there was a time at Tim Hortons where I would be like, just give me your freshest donut. And let me tell you, that was super smart because they like make different flavors throughout the day, right? Like,
Yeah.
And then I would get whatever was freshest, and it was always a joy. Always a joy.
Have you ever been to Krispy Kreme in the States?
Yes, I have.
me and Andrew went the last time we went to Disneyland. And we got a dozen donuts. And he ate half of them while we were still there.
It was, Krispy Kreme is delicious. I just watched this tasty video that was like trying to recreate it, but it's super difficult because you have to get the deep frying just right. I don't know, and they have all the machines and
you get to watch them make the donuts.
Okay, thank you for asking my favorite type of donut. I think that's
your Miss Stella Chap, what's your favorite type of donut?
Definitely a sour cream glazed.
Ew.
What?
Ew.
Oh my gosh, I love them so much. And then I think probably like a Boston cream. Is that weird? Is that like
no? Because I used to go to Tim Hortons. I remember when I first moved to Edmonton like 9 years ago, and the Tim Hortons in West Edmonton Mall, they'd have Boston cream donuts, but instead of putting the Boston cream in them, they would put whipped cream. And it was
then it's not a Boston cream.
But it was so much better.
Really?
What's the bottom of your pen? You got some
I've got a bit of film. I'm chalking it up. That was a good 6 minutes of stirring, and I'm over it. So this is why I'm not the best person to teach you this, but I'm glad that I have Ms. N here, who is more of an expert of the choux pastry than I am. Okay, so I transferred it into my mixer with the paddle attachment. This is a new process that I've learned. I used to do it like in this pot, and you would have to like let it cool. This works much better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my mixture stirring, and I'm going to crack in.
with one hand.
My hand is covered in egg now. I'm going to mix in one egg at a time. Pan down, pan down. And I'm going to mix it till it's shiny. Just gonna scrape. This always makes me nervous because one time I cracked the egg into the moving mixer and let it go. There she went.
Maybe use 2 hands now.
So we don't wreck it. Like you're kind of looking for that like gluey texture. Do you see what I mean? Like when it starts getting gluey. One more. And then that's how I want it to look after this. Okay, I'm gonna do a quick scrape. Do you guys hear Ms. N coaching me through this? This is how much I hate this.
Me, a teacher. That's been teaching.
Me, a food teacher of 15 years. This is, ugh. I have to go out of my comfort zone sometimes. Yeah. Okay, she's done. I'm like that shiny, it looks shiny and gluey, okay? And one of the tests that I use, but because I'm strange, is I smell it. If it smells eggy to me, then I will be a bit suspicious, but I'm gonna tell you something. So on day 1 of choux pastry, we make cream puffs. About 50% of students will not have success. Day 2, we will make churros, and the deep frying fixes everything. So even if the dough isn't ideal, or it smells eggy, or you don't think that you've mastered like a good dough, it will be fine in the oil.